We're following the extreme heat wave, creating dangerous conditions across the country. More than 50 million Americans are under extreme heat warnings. The Northeast broke several heat records over the weekend. The temperature has been so intense it even cracked highway pavement and melted bridges in Chicago. DeMarco Morgan is in Long Branch, New Jersey, where it could feel like 100 degrees today.
Right now, the beaches are packed here along the New Jersey shore. You can see hundreds, if not thousands of people are taking advantage of this warm weather. When you combine the temperature, which is now at 95 degrees, with the heat index, it feels a lot more like it's 105 degrees. But as you can see behind me, it is not stopping any of these people from taking it all in and enjoying it, especially when you're this close to the water and you can dip in and out and enjoy that breeze as well. We're also seeing people who are taking advantage of some of the shaded areas along the beach. But when you think about the important things that you want to keep in mind, you want to make sure that you're using your sunscreen and also that you're staying hydrated, drinking plenty of water. And if you're living in different parts of the area, different parts of the country, because this is a heat wave that is sort of like crippling our country and should last throughout the 4th of July holiday. If you're living closer inland, then you want to make sure that you're checking on the elderly. You're also looking out for the younger people as well, because it is extremely, extremely dangerous. It can be if you're not treating it right. So make sure that you are staying hydrated again, use a sunscreen, and just get out and enjoy yourselves. Don?
Wish I could, DeMarco. Thanks. Drink that water, everybody. All right, Meg Oliver is in New York, where people are trying to escape the sweltering heat.
Here in New York City, there is a stifling combination of heat and humidity, making it feel like it's 105 degrees. Take a look around me. It is practically deserted at Lincoln Center. This normally would be a hot spot for tourists eating lunch by the fountain and people coming to take pictures. But people are listening to the warnings. Unless they're in the shade, as you can see that family over there, people are inside. They are inside in the air conditioning. There is a heat warning advisory that will be in effect until 9 p.m. tonight. Now, this is a code red alert. What that means is that there are social workers canvassing the city, looking for the homeless to bring them inside. I talked to the city. There are more than 450 cooling centers that are open at community centers, senior citizen centers, and libraries, so people can come inside. I also talked with some churches who have daily soup kitchens. They were both at full capacity today. As you can imagine, in a city like this that is full of cement, just walking a few steps, it feels like you are baking under this blistering sun. Don?
All right, Meg Oliver, thank you. Joining us now is weather producer David Parkinson. Okay, it's summertime. We have a heat wave, not that unusual. What is unusual about this particular one?
What's unusual is the duration of this heat wave. So for some people, the heat wave started last Friday. It will continue through at least this Friday for some folks. And depending where you are, it could actually go on longer. That combined with it is not in any way, shape, or form a dry heat. That humidity continues to boost things up. And you're also seeing some record temperatures out of this. So we had about 9 records yesterday. We're going to be looking at record temperatures today in a place like Albany, New York, that's going to get to 99. Burlington, Vermont's going to get to 98. We got to a point this morning where Burlington, Vermont was actually warmer than Key West, like at wake-up time, and it's just going to continue to get worse. So we've got a really active jet stream pattern that is all the way to the north, which means you've got high pressure on both ends. It's bringing up air from the south, and it's just baking most of the country.
Not to open the climate change can of worms, but we've seen some extreme weather over the past year or two that's been really extraordinary. Do you think this fits into that box?
So the one thing that is fairly conclusively linked to climate change is both heat and cold events, extreme heat and extreme cold. So with regard to that, you can say that when you have a warming climate, you would expect longer duration heat events and warmer times. You're also going to expect more days, especially in the Northeast, with temperatures above 90 degrees.
So are we thinking a week of this, 2 weeks?
So it's a week. Well, we should have a little bit of a cool down into next weekend, and then it's right back up. It is what we sometimes refer to in the weather community as a torch and a prolonged torch.
And possible records being broken this weekend as well.
That's right. So the warmest temperatures are going to shift a little bit west for the weekend coming up, but it's really going to be just a quick shift and then it goes back. But in terms of the feels like temperatures for your July 4th, I mean, you're seeing it right there. The feels like temperatures on the East Coast a little bit lower than what they are in the Midwest. But
relatively speaking.
Right, relatively speaking, but uncomfortable to unbearable nonetheless. And then, things will move right back on east later on as well. So here were the record temperatures. We hit 104 in Austin. We hit 91 at the SFO airport in San Mateo County. And then you've got all these smattering ones from Michigan through upstate New York, down to the Jersey Shore.
Right.
It has not been a limited event. It's been more than half the country over 90 degrees.
All right, David Parkinson, thanks so much for stopping in and help us understand this. Great.